Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So I just finished the Daikokuten versus Mundus run, and I was feeling pretty good about that. And then I saw that Ashura was up, so I thought I would take a homing party through Ashura as well. But as we shall see, it doesn't go as smoothly or as quickly as Daikokuten. But let's have a look. My team, I'm using 3 of Anubis. He is a Pierce with a null damage wall, and he's a water element, so he's perfect for this quest. And then I'm using 2 of the Evolution, and he has a very strong strike shot where he gets speed and power up. And then I'm using 1 of the Ascension. His strike shot is not as powerful, but he does have recovery, so he can help me keep my HP up. And then as we can see, my HP is not very high at all, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. And then lastly, I'm using Ibaraki Dolji, the Halloween Alpha version, who is also a Pierce with a null damage wall. And yeah, they all have a homing bump combo, but it's not nearly as powerful as Mundus. So we're not going to see the homing do a lot of damage, but it'll do some. It'll do enough. Alrighty. Now to talk about the stage. The first 4 turns, the first round, we want to move all of our guys towards the outside of the screen. And that is because on the 4th turn, everybody will shoot these little pellets into the middle of the screen. So if we stay out of there, we can save ourselves a lot of damage. And then after that, we can move into the center of the screen to attack Ashura. And if I am able to, I want to hit all of my guys so I can get all the homing out every turn. The Anubises, they have a homing piercer, which I believe hits 3 times per piercer, so that's pretty great. And they also have a pretty high chance of hitting the boss's weak point, which kind of makes it stronger than the average homing shot. And then Ibaraki Dolji Alpha, she has a they call it a pan-elemental homing shot, which has all of the 5 elements, and then 5 shots of each. And that was pretty good damage there, actually. A lot of the homing shots went into the weak point, so that was alright. And then, yeah, I've said this before, but I have mixed feelings about the pan-elemental homing shot. It has more hits than any other homing shot, 25. But it is 5 elements. So in this case, against Ashura, the 5 shots that are water will do extra damage, but the 5 shots that are wood will do less damage, and then all the other shots will just do regular damage. So yeah, I kind of wish that you know, the pan-elemental homing shot would be replaced with just a single element, so that you could get more damage out of that single element in situations like this. But I think the fact that there are so many shots kind of balances out that fact. So it still ends up being pretty powerful. Okay, and then, yeah, we got past that first mini-boss stage, and then we'll just move on to here. And then here I like to take out one side, if I can, because that'll kind of cut the damage in half. But yeah, Ashura as a quest, I find it pretty fun. It's a little bit long, but it is a fun quest. And I think that's partly because, you know, what you do every stage is kind of decided already. It's just about knowing what order to do things, you know, where to position your guys, and then, you know, how to do enough damage in time. If you understand all that, and then you have the right characters, then the mission's not that hard, actually. And then as for the character itself of Ashura, I think she's a lot of fun. She's a very simple character. Not a support character by any means, but very powerful and can do lots of damage in the right situations. As for making the max luck of her, I would say she's one of the less necessary to make a max luck of. But to have her is very handy. Especially in like the fire time trial quest. And then also floor 28 of the Tower of Champions. And some other places, yeah. Alright, so on this stage I was worried that all of the shields were going to kind of suck up all of the homing shots. But actually they're doing pretty good damage against these little guys, so this is turning out pretty well. Yeah, I don't have a lot of HP though, so I definitely need to be very careful about my hearts. But yeah, the evolution Anubis has critical. And I say this every time I feel like, but critical on Pierce monsters is very, very strong, so I'm happy to have that there. Okay, so we have entered the boss stage. And then there are two ways you can go about this stage. One is to use a bunch of strike shots and just take out the boss immediately. Or you can do what I usually do, which is to take the first 4 turns, and then move all my guys above that stone formation up there. Because that will help me dodge the boss's kind of first really strong attack, the White Blast. And then, yeah, Pierce characters, they have a easier time of kind of positioning here. So that's one big advantage of using Pierce characters for this stage, for this mission. And it's also a good advantage of like using people like Verdandi, which have a strike shot to become a Pierce. But I kind of feel it's a waste to use a strike shot just to run away. But if it's a matter of life and death, then I would say go for it. Okay, so the White Blast came out. Now we can think about moving down and then doing damage to the boss. And yeah, there I was lucky enough to have everybody in position that I could use the homing shot. But as we saw, not a lot of damage. And yeah, Ashura has a lot of hit points too. And we don't want to leave her out too long, since she does have very powerful attacks that take a while to charge up. So, yep, with that attack we'll take out the little guys, and then that'll mean more homing shots go into the boss. But yeah, probably direct attacks are going to do more damage here than the homing overall. Okay, we'll get a little bit of healing in there. Yeah, and then the first, kind of the first attack that Ashura does on you every stage is the speed down. And then, yeah, that's what that is. But the second time that the speed down comes up, that means it's getting pretty close to Ashura's very strong attacks. So I'm going to go ahead and use one of Anubis's strike shots to clear that stage and avoid those big attacks coming soon. And then this first, and possibly even the second stage, it's perfectly fine to use the strike shots, since the kind of the boss sequence is so long that they'll charge up again by the time you get to the last stage. And you definitely want your strike shots for the last stage. Alright, so here too, we're going to try to position our guys at the top. Ashura does not have the White Blast, the 4th turn. But she does have kind of a shotgun, which points down, so we want to definitely move our guys up to the top. And then once we're all up there, that'll be easy to do to make attacks against the boss, and then also hit all of my bump combos. Okay, so we're all up there, and we miss that shotgun attack. And then we can just, you know, move back and forth, and then set up bump combos, and do damage to the boss. Okay. Yeah, and I'm thinking this team of homing bump combo guys, it does pretty good damage against the mobs, the little guys, but not too much against the boss. Okay, so there goes the little guy, that's fine, and then that opens us up to take down the boss. Alright, we have a nice line here that goes right over the weak point. And we'll just keep this up. Once that second speed down comes along, like right here, then we need to be a little bit more aggressive. But I felt like I was close enough here that I could take him down without needing to use a strike shot. Okay, pretty good. And then positioning for the next stage is decent as well. Just like on the first boss stage, we want our guys outside of the rock formation, so we want to be on the left side of the screen. So I will work to get my guys around there. And yeah, the speed down can actually help you with positioning, because if you have regular speed and you try to enter the beyond that rock formation, you might have so much speed that you come out the other end. So in some cases, speed down can be useful on this stage. Okay, whoops, I might have pushed that other Anubis too close to Ashura, but we'll find out in a second. Okay. Yeah. So actually the Anubis at the bottom, I thought he was going to get hit. He did not get hit. But the one that I nudged in the center, he did get hit, so I guess we have a better idea about the blast radius there. Okay, and then after the white blast comes out, then we can get more aggressive and then move in. But here, I figured that you know, hitting the robots and Ashura with a direct attack would speed him down too much and not do a lot of damage. So I thought I would hit all of the homing shots and then go after the boss. And that did pretty good damage against the little guys. Okay, we'll do kind of the same thing here, and thankfully I hit everybody, so I got good healing in. Alright, and again we'll just move over to the right. Pretty good. Okay, so now we're just down to the boss. And then, yeah, it'll just be about doing direct damage, and then hopefully working on the positioning so everybody's at the top of the screen. Okay, I would love to save that heart. We'll see what we do with it. Okay, well, we'll pick it up. I think it's more important to do damage to the boss than to stall to make the heart bigger, so we'll just go ahead and do that. Okay, I'm thinking about my positioning, and with the speed down, then I can kind of return up to the top part of the screen, so that kind of worked out. Alrighty, here is the last stage of the boss sequence, and then here we want to start to use strike shots, since the boss has a lot of hit points on this level. But we don't want to use them when our guys are, when they have the speed down. Since that will sort of affect our how much speed, of course, we do. Speed that we have and how much damage we do. So I'm going to wait a little bit until the speed down wears off, and then I will start to use my strike shots. In the meantime, then I can either work on the little guys down there or just work on positioning above the boss. Because here too, the fourth attack is this shotgun. And then if we have too many guys below Ashura, then that'll be that. Okay, so I think everybody's speed down is cured, so we can go ahead and start using strike shots. And HP is low, so I'm definitely going to want to keep an eye on that heart on the right there. And then here I thought I could use the strike shot as kind of double duty to just raise the speed so that we can do some damage to the little guys down there, but then also bring him, this Anubis, up to the top of the screen. And that worked out pretty well. Okay, here I'm going to be very focused on hitting all of my teammates so I can get as much healing in as possible. And then also pick up the heart and do some damage to the boss. Alrighty. And that should set me up pretty well for Ibaraki Dolji's strike shot. She has the same strike shot as Kufurin, which is a null everything strike shot. But usually more importantly, it's the insane multiplier to the character's damage, to the attack. So that's why we saw the 3 million damage there. Okay, so that actually turned out. The humming was a lot less powerful than I was hoping for, but it seemed to work out, so. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Take care.